What's up, nerds? Welcome to the Cool Nerd Show. As always, I am Steve Trezza, and Scott is actually away on vacation this week, so I'm doing the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. review solo, and as always, we will get into what I liked, the good, what I disliked, the bad, and some predictions. This was a very different episode. The entire episode took place on the alien planet that Simmons had gotten stranded on, so let's get right into it, and we're going to start off with the good. So, the good. What I really liked about this episode is Simmons kind of manned up in this episode. Now she actually had to use her survival skills to survive. And you see when she kills the being that was trying to eat her at the bottom of the little pond that she was getting water from. It was a very strong episode for Simmons. It was definitely showing that Simmons was coming into character with this episode, which I liked that a lot. I thought was really cool. She tries to get killed and eaten by this like water thing, and it like goes and grabs her, and then she has to like drag it out and kill it with like a rock, and then you see her eating it raw at first, and then a little bit later she's eating it, and then it's all cooked, and she's gives this sigh that's like, oh, thank God, like I finally had like a home cooked meal, but it was this like weird white alien worm that she ate, and it was just gross, but she hadn't eaten all day, and she hadn't eaten for hours, and yeah. I like the idea that she wasn't the only one on the planet. You know, she had this, she met this new friend that at first she was kind of his prisoner, and then she escaped, and then they became friends, and eventually they became romantically involved with each other, and his name's Will. He was there with NASA. NASA had sent his team out there. I liked that a lot. The idea that they knew that this was there, they knew that the amount of and they've actually been testing it for years, and still no one's been able to bring them back. As far as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. goes, it's a very different episode. It's not anything that they've ever done before. It was very suspenseful, very almost like horror, sci-fi movie-ish. Where the whole episode just told you, it just revolved around Simmons, and it just told you what happened to her on the planet, and that's it. Surprising episode from them, because they don't usually do stuff like that, but I enjoyed it, and I think it was a breath of fresh air, just something completely different. They took a shot at it, and I enjoyed it. I thought the episode was good. So then near the end of the episode, you finally see that Simmons and Will are romantically inclined together, and they, there's kind of this sexual tension throughout the whole episode. It's like a little weird, because you're always thinking like, well, he's been there for 14 years, and he's been X amount of years since he's seen a person, let alone a woman, and then she shows up, so then she's here, and you know, now she's there for a couple months, and you're kind of thinking like something's gonna happen here, and then eventually it does happen at the end, and now it looks like, you know, they're kind of like a package deal when they're going back, which kind of begs the question, what's gonna happen when she goes back to Fitz? Because before they left, they were kind of starting to get together, and then she gets swept away. So with that, that's what I liked about the good. We're going to go into the bad now of what I didn't like, and there wasn't a lot in this episode. A couple things I didn't like about this episode. Immediately, I was thinking about her cell phone. She's the best. Simmons is the best cell phone in the world because it can last months on end and not drain. Then she threw that line of dialogue, and that was like, Fitz had engineered it to last me a super long time, which, like, okay, I'm kind of okay with it now, but it's still kind of just a little far-fetched that the battery would last that amount of time, and she's using it every day and taking notes with it. She went over 100 hours without water or food, and she didn't look like she was really starving or dying of thirst. That bothered me a little bit. I thought she should be a little more disheveled. Whatever, I guess I can look past that. The only other thing that I didn't like about the episode is you would think she would have cracked a lot earlier. She's still kind of her like bubbly Simmons self near like the end of the episode until she finally kind of cracks at the end. But then even after that, she still kind of goes back to being herself. I kind of wanted to see her transform into a completely different person, the person that we're seeing now in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and we didn't really see that happen. That's it for my bad. Let's get into the predictions. The episode, since it only focused around Simmons and Will stranded on this island, there's not really much to predict. The only prediction that we can go based upon this episode is, will they get Will? And yes, I'm pretty certain they will get Will. And that is because if they didn't, then there would be no reason for this episode, and there would be no reason for Simmons to want to go back. So eventually they will open the portal again, or find a way to get through the portal again to that world, and retrieve Will from that world. Now, when they get him, is he going to be the same person? That is a question that we need asked. As Will had said prior in the episode, it, or the being that possesses the planet, basically possesses anyone who goes there, and then they go crazy and try to kill someone or kill themselves or whatever. Could this being possess Will? They go, they grab him, he comes back, and then he's all of a sudden a threat on Earth or a threat to S.H.I.E.L.D. They have to contain him. Maybe Simmons is trying to, bring him back to normal or something like that when they get him back. That's really all I have for predictions for this week. Next week's episode looks like it's going to be a fun one with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. going up against Ward again. So, if you like what you saw here, make sure you subscribe. Please like and favorite the episode as well. Tell your friends, and check out all of our other videos over on our channel. So with that, leave your comments below, predictions, what you liked, what you didn't like, and I'll see you on the other segments.